Hi Cancer, I want to welcome you to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name is Carol, and this is going to be a general reading for mid-month October 2024. And in today's reading, we're going to be doing a check-in. And so what we're going to be doing is looking at a pattern. Sometimes it's a struggle or a decision you have to make, but we're going to be focusing more so on the pattern that's showing up for your life right now for healing. And so in order to determine, what's sort of behind that pattern and what's driving it and coming up for you for healing, we're going to be looking at your shadow. And so in the second part of the reading, we're going to be doing some shadow work. And if you're unfamiliar with those two terms, shadow or shadow work, I've left a really good video in the description box below. And it's called My Powerful 4-Step Guide to Healing. And it's taken from my other channel called Carol Cares, Carol with an E. And in that video, it's just all about how to face your own shadow. And so you can have a look at that if you're interested in that. But we are in part 2 going to be looking at, something that's coming up from your childhood or your adolescence for healing. And then finally in part 3, I'm going to ask the tarot for some guidance for you as how you can begin to start to heal this, because this is a process, our healing journey. It's not something that's going to have some magical solution, and that's not what I'm going to have for you. But the tarot is going to give you some guidance as to how you can begin to start to look at this pattern and where it's coming from in your shadow. And then also what I'll do is I'll give you some final guidance at the end, and I'll offer you some videos as well, playlists maybe that will come from my other channel, Carol Cares, that are really more specific to what you're needing to heal and deal with in your reading. And then I could, if I have some room, I will also link your 2024 reading, your October 2024 reading that I did for you. Yeah, at the beginning of the month. So, in today's reading, I'm going to start off by looking, by using the Curious Travelers Tarot, and that's new on this channel, I believe. And then also I'll clarify with the Tarot Vintage. And also, if you're interested in a personal reading with me, I have left a link for you in my description box below and also in my comments section. And that'll take you to Yellow Cardinal Tarot on my carolcares.com page, where there's a list of readings that you can choose from. So if you're interested in that, you can go there. So let's begin with this Curious Traveler's Jack. And I'm going to ask for 3 cards to come out here. And yeah, I've pre-shuffled these before I came on. So can I have 1 card, please, from for what pattern is showing up for Cancer in this mid-month reading for October? Okay, you have the 4 of Swords. And can I have another card for what aspect is driving this pattern that's showing up here? Oh, that one came out quickly. You have the 3 of Cups. And finally, what advice does the tarot have for Cancer to begin to heal this? 1 card, please. Those came out quickly. The Devil card. The Devil card is your advice. Okay. All right, so can you tell me some more about, again, I've pre-shuffled these, so can you tell me some more about this 4 of Swords, please? 2 or 3 cards here to clarify the 4 of Swords. And I think I got 3 cards right here. So you have the Ace of Cups, and you have the 9 of Wands in reverse. And you have 2 aces here, another Ace of Swords, this one in reverse. All right, 3 cards for this 3 of Cups, please, for Cancer in their shadow. What's sitting in the shadow? A couple more cards here. Okay, you have the World card in reverse that I bent. The Justice card in reverse. It's like the card wants to come out and I shuffle and it's going, no, I'm coming out. The Moon in reverse. Interesting that you have three major arcana cards here. And like I said, I've shuffled, pre-shuffled, and my pre-shuffling is just taking them and messing them all around my table, which I find is the best way. But powerful energy you have sitting in your shadow. The devil, universal archetype forces there that are wanting to really get your attention for healing. And a couple more cards for the devil card, please, for clarification. Okay, you have the Six of Wands. And these two kind of came out together, the star in reverse. That's the... Okay, clarification for that. So let's begin your reading. So Cancer, what pattern's showing up for you this month? Well, you know, there's some real rest here that's needed for you. And this is the Four of Swords for you. And that speaks about rest. And oftentimes, you know, our lives can be so busy. And we don't notice when we need rest. And the busyness can really be a cover-up for us for not getting back into our body and not feeling our emotions. Because I always look this card up, and I've only been seeing it kind of recently, is that, you know, you always see these three cards up here, or these three swords here, but there's one below here. And swords is all about our mental energy and all those thought patterns that we have, those belief systems we have about ourselves. But here's this one sword of our truth. And when we're keeping ourselves busy, which means we're really up in our heads, we really don't get a chance to find out who we really are and take the time out to listen to our body and listen to what's going on. But I find that I especially when I began my journey 7.5 years ago intensively to get back into, you know, to get back into my body and do, and, you know, bring up what needs to be brought up from my unconscious, from my shadow. I used to always say to my therapist, and I don't say it now because I have a lot of energy now, but when I first began, it was like, I'm just so exhausted. I'm just so exhausted. I'm so tired. And so if you're feeling like you're exhausted and you're just needing some rest, but you're running and running and running, and this is often what we do when we're up in our heads and we're trying to push all this stuff down, these emotions, because I'm seeing right now that the universe is kind of going like, look what's here right now. There's an Ace of Cups that's coming up here for you to notice, right? And you know, and the sword here is our sword of truth, is our to find out, you know, who we really are and what our purpose is and what our truth is, and get back to who we are. And we do that by, you know, getting back to our emotions and our feeling and back into our body. And here's this offer that's coming to you. And it's like when the universe says, you know, I have something for you. It's like you need to take it, but you got to take some time out. You got to take time out to feel, get back into your body. And here's this in Nine of Wands in reverse here. This Nine of Wands in an upright position, it's often called the wounded warrior, the wounded one. I forget what the second word is, but it's about this person that's been in like a lot of battle. Obviously, they have this bandage on their head, and you know they've collected all these wands. But I like to, maybe it's called the wounded healer, I think what it's called. But I've given it a new name. I want to call it the courageous one, the courageous healer, right? Because, you know, but it's in reverse here. And I think that there's a part of you that feels like, you know, you don't have the courage, or you can't keep on doing this, and you don't want to keep on doing this. And oftentimes that's when we'll get back up in our head and we'll start running, right? And the universe is going, whoa, slow it, like slow down. And because, you know, you do have the courage here. You can continue this journey. You have the courage to keep going. And I know that oftentimes we don't think we do, and we think that we're going nowhere, you know, but it's like, no, you do. It's time to get back into your body. It's time to pick up that sword once again, that sword here of your truth, of who you are, and keep going. Like, you can do this, you know. This is kind of like the keep going card. You got this. And this is what this Ace of Swords is coming through for you, because there is a real resistance on your part to pick up that sword again and continue your battle if you want. Continue your battle to find out your truth, to find out who you are, right? Behind, that's sitting there in your unconscious. So what's this? We're going to look at your childhood. We're going to look at your adolescence here. We're going to go take a little bit of a dive into your shadow. And we're going to look at, where is this coming from? This kind of like this person that's standing there and not feeling the courage to pick up that sword and walk towards their truth. So where is this coming from now? And you have the card that starts off here is this Three of Cups. And these are these three feminine figures here that are almost like, saluting to their creative energy. This is their creative expression. This is really a card of creative expression that is sitting there right in your shadow. And this is the card of, think of yourself as a child, just wanting to step out and be and live that person you wanted to be. And we were all like that. And it's that feminine part of us that's sitting in your shadow, that creative part of you that wants to take off and to live your life the way that you want it to live and be you, right? And here's your truth here wanting to come back to you. And the World card sits right behind it. Here's where you have these three major arcana cards here. And the World card speaks of, when in an upright position, the World card speaks of like an ending here, like a closure, bringing closure to this. But it's like, sitting right here in your shadow, in the middle of your shadow here. So it's like, there's something here that didn't come to completion. It's like you were young and you had this creative force in you. And I mean, when I say creative, I could talk about that, but I'm not necessarily talking about that traditional, you could have become a painter, an art, you could have become this, not necessarily. It's like this putting you first and that creative force in you, that feminine part of you that knew, where your drive was and where you were meant to go and what kind of lifestyle you wanted to go towards. But it was like this completion, this closure part of it, didn't quite happen here. And why is that? And here's this Justice card. Both of these cards coming in reverse, the Justice and the Moon coming right behind the World card here. All of these three are in reverse, which tells me that, blocks happened, things happened where they were kind of turned. I kind of see it like, things got turned around here. And here's the first one is the Justice card. And in an upright position, the Justice card talks about, there's some things here that are sort of, you need to get back to your truth. And the universe wants you so badly. And that's why this Ace of Swords is coming up for you right here. Wants you to get back to your truth. There's a need for you to look at now what's in your shadow, because there's some truth in there. And it's in reverse here because it's blocked. You're not seeing this. Like, you're not seeing, why are you feeling this need to kind of want to, it looks like you're maybe wanting to quit the journey, not feeling the courage to it. But you have two aces on the table here from the universe is going, listen, there's a need for you to get back to your truth, to get back to these emotions, to stop this sitting in your head and running around. You need to take time out for you now, because there's like I said, the Justice card is saying you need to look at this. There's some truth here. You need to bring balance to what's going on here, what's sitting in your shadow, because there are some things that are hidden from you. There are some things that you're unaware of, and that's what the Moon card is here, right? The Moon card, when the moon comes out here, there's these crayfish that come out of the water, these things that are like, where'd you come from, right? So it's like there are things in your shadow that are, and literally, when I started digging in my own shadow, it's like, where the hell did you come from? And then, oh my God, I didn't know that happened. And that's the thing, like when we stay up in our heads like this, we can believe these swords are about our belief patterns, right? We can continue to believe that these are the things that happen to us. And then when we start doing some digging, we find out what our real truth is. We get to it, and then universe says there's a need for you, a real push here for you to start to uncover what it is that's sitting in your shadow. That's your truth. That's our truth. What's sitting in our shadow, It's not what we have, what we continue to believe up here. There's so much more in our body that's waiting for us to express this creative expression of who we are. And then a lot of us like to think that there's only these bad, repressed emotions and things, memories that might have happened to us when we were younger. Sure, it's all there. We all have trauma. It's all there. But there's also buried under there some gifts for us, which is our truth and who we really are. And that's what the universe wants you to get to. And so what's the advice from the tarot here? Well, here's the Devil card. And the Devil card comes up here when it talks about the attachments that we have, the things that we're attached to, the people that we're attached to. Sometimes it can also talk about our addictions. And I mean, people can be addictions too, but there are certain things in our life here that we need to become aware of, that sometimes, need to go, because they're really keeping us held prisoner. And whether it's people, whether it's things, whether it's old habits that have to go, but we have to become aware of what's keeping us prisoner in this life. Why are you not feeling the courage right here to continue your journey, to continue your healing journey? What is it that's blocking you? Because I see here that this next Seven of Wands card is in reverse, and the Seven of Wands in an upright position speaks about, this journey, about how it can be so lonely here all by yourself. And I know this is where, the courage has to come in here. Because this card is one of my favorite in the deck, because it reminds me of myself and when I had to go out on my own. And sometimes, this is where we have to look at what attachments do we have? What attachments are we holding on to? Whether it's our addictions, like I said, or people that are preventing us from looking at what is it that preventing us from going out alone sometimes. Because when we go out on this healing journey, and I can see here that, you're blocked and maybe not feeling the support from people, because this particular individual, when we go out on our healing journey, we sometimes will attract these people, and they could be our close friends, it could be our family, people around us that we thought were the people that were supporting us. All of a sudden they're kind of going, whoa, wait a minute here, you're on this healing journey, and they're going to try to bring us back down, and they're going to try to invalidate us, and so maybe you're not feeling supported enough around you. And I think that's why, there's a real call for you to bring an awareness to what is it that's sort of preventing you, what sort of attachments do you have that are not supporting you, not validating you right now. And there's definitely a call here for this Six of Wands that's coming up. And the Six of Wands is a card of, first of all, it's a card of duality because it's the number 6. And on the surface, it looks like it's a card of victory, right? There's a victory going on. Definitely, you have the victory wreath here, the victory crown that he's wearing, but because this is duality, there's also in life where you have your victories, but you also have your losses here. And so I'm wondering if, it's a card, I'm going to go back to this a second. There's a card about, in this journey we have victories, but we also are going to have our losses. And I think because it's in reverse here, I'm wondering if there are some losses here, like there are going to be maybe some people that that are not supporting you that need to leave your life, and you're feeling quite trapped by these attachments. Maybe you're feeling quite trapped by these people that you're holding on to, because our addictions can be people, like I say, and they're not validating you or supporting you, and yet you're having a heck of a hard time letting them go. But part of the letting them go is to grieve, the loss of realizing that, you know, I need to let these people go, and I need to walk away from some people in my life. And here's the star card right now that is blocked, but there's some real healing here that's got to take place. And that's the grieving, I think, that's going to come up right here. When you realize that, you know, maybe it's time to walk away from these people that aren't validating you and aren't supporting you. And I think that's why sometimes we don't have the courage, because sometimes we just don't feel safe enough to do that. But once you step out on your own, once you take your distance from certain people that aren't supporting you and aren't validating you, then that's when we can take the next step. That the universe is saying, here's your truth here. You need to get back to the truth of who you really are again and continue this journey. And so, Cancer, I'm going to leave you with, I think I'm feeling that there's some fear on your part here. So I'm going to leave you with a playlist on fear. And I'm also going to leave you your October 2024 reading that I did for you. And I want you to have compassion for yourself, Cancer, for what you're working through here. This is a very difficult journey. It's the most difficult journey of your life, but it's also going to be the most important journey of your life. So I'll talk to you in November. Bye.